The internet is dead, and we are the killers. The truth no longer exists online. Bots have flooded social media with misinformation, and the web pages we access today are almost entirely generated by AI. Even YouTube is filled with channels fully operated by AI, without any creative input from humans. Every day, less and less of the content we consume is created by humans. And worse, all of it is being recycled back into a system over which we have very little control, leaving the internet a shadow of what it once was. Navigating social media has become an isolated, empty, and purposeless activity. But how exactly did we get here? And is it too late to reverse this situation? The internet began as a weapon of war, not a military war, but a technological battle during the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union. This drove American researchers to develop a way to share data and programs through a dispersed global network, starting in the early 1960s. The earliest version of the internet was created between two universities, the University of California and Stanford. Simple messages could be communicated between them, but it was nothing compared to what we have today. Throughout the 1970s, this network continued to spread through the use of telephone lines. By 1983, there were only 500 computer hosts connected, but in 5 years this number reached 100,000, expanding to more and more countries. Then, everything changed with the creation of the World Wide Web. The World Wide Web was a simple concept, a network of hypertext documents accessed with a program called a browser. By the mid-1990s, it had expanded from scientists and governments to public consumption. The birth of the internet was celebrated as a revolutionary force, with the free and democratic transfer of information. Power could be returned to the hands of the people. The boundaries of regulation and nationalism would be transcended, creating a new era for society. No longer was a media outlet or political platform needed to express opinions. Everyone could become their own publisher, something not possible before. But there was just one problem: greed. As years turned into decades, the internet followed a familiar path, the same one nearly all other major technological innovations followed, and will continue to follow. Dozens of internet service providers emerged, but they slowly began to merge into just a few large companies, leaving consumers with no real choice. Just like with radio a century earlier, thousands of different companies were slowly bought out or eliminated from the market. This was true for both the infrastructure and the online space. By 2001, when the internet bubble burst, the top 10 websites accounted for 31% of page views in the United States. And by 2006, that number rose to 40%, reaching 75% in 2010. At the same time, iPhones and smart devices changed our relationship with the internet. Browsing the World Wide Web became less common as people migrated to semi-closed apps. And by 2010, these apps accounted for less than a quarter of internet traffic. Today, it's 90%. Keeping users within the confines of apps made advertising more effective, creating a whole new ecosystem. Apple was on its way to becoming one of the largest companies in the world thanks to this closed system. After the internet bubble, only 5 tech companies managed to survive and thrive: Google, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Microsoft. The big 5 are now practically unavoidable on the internet, whether through advertising, e-commerce, or the cloud hosting on which websites depend. This technological dominance has permanently changed our society. And as these industry giants compete in a technological arms race for the next big product to sell to consumers, which is artificial intelligence, the last vestiges of a utopian internet may be lost. Nearly 52 billion people have access to the internet, and the average user spends 6 hours a day online. It is by far the largest market in the world, and unfortunately, the most valuable commodity in this market is your attention. Views, likes, and ratings are worth gold, and this has led to a huge shadow market for all kinds of engagement. Money has transformed the internet into a tiered system ready for exploitation. Creating a successful social media channel or profile can be a lucrative long-term investment. With a few clicks and dollars, anyone can buy thousands of streams on Spotify, likes on Instagram, or views on YouTube. How can companies offer these services? Employing thousands of people to manually click on posts would be too expensive. Instead, they use bots, unintentional automated software that, when targeted, artificially interacts with the post, boosting it in rankings and attracting more attention. Sites do their best to eliminate bots, but it's almost impossible to remove them all. Over the past 6 years, Meta has deactivated more than 27 billion fake accounts. Some believe it is already too late to act against bots. They think we may have reached a dark tipping point. First postulated in 2019, the dead internet theory proposes that we are living in a dystopian ghost town, populated by simulated actors. According to the theory, something changed around 2016. The internet became so saturated with automated content that having a genuine human interaction was rare, if not impossible. Browsing the web was like driving alone and only passing by automated vehicles on the road. The original author of the theory admitted it seemed conspiratorial, but was sure of a feeling that something was clearly missing. There was an emptiness online that didn't exist in the early 2000s. Images, conversations, and memes began to resemble each other, while forums that were once exciting now seemed sanitized. This was supposedly all carefully curated to maintain control of culture and political power, and above all, to ensure the general population remained under control. The dead internet theory remained on the fringes until 2022, when a major revelation brought the issue of bots to global attention. On November 30th, 2022, the world was introduced to ChatGPT, built on a large language model that processes gigantic data sets and forms relationships between ideas. It is the most advanced form of artificial intelligence ever created. For decades, computers have been much more powerful than humans in specific tasks, like chess or mathematical calculations. The question that divided computer scientists and philosophers was whether computers could one day transition to a kind of general intelligence. Mathematician Alan Turing posed this question in 1950. He developed the Turing test as a way to determine if a machine was thinking. The test was simple. For a computer to pass, it had to fool a human into thinking they were talking to another human. Last year, ChatGPT-4 became one of the first to pass the Turing test. Officially, we have brought a machine to life, and suddenly, the dead internet theory became not just a conspiracy, but a likely future. If we can no longer distinguish between humans and AI, whom can we trust? Consider this. 49.6% of all internet traffic in 2023 came from bots. Even more frightening is that things are likely to get worse now that search engines have begun integrating AI technology like ChatGPT into their services. The flaws have never been so clear. Tech giants are rushing products to market to compete with each other for supremacy. In the process, there have been some disastrous results. Google's foray into the AI world, Gemini, told users that rocks are a source of vitamins. Astronauts who landed on the moon encountered cats, and backpacks are as effective as parachutes when jumping from a plane. These technological hallucinations come from their effort to gather massive amounts of information that have been compressed, doing so with an algorithm that identifies the important components and interpolates the missing parts. Anything creative is usually generated using a composition or altered version of a work already created by humans. Online artwork and music are being used as training data for artificial intelligence, leading many to argue that workers are being exploited. Hundreds of artists, backed by the nonprofit organization Artist Rights Alliance, signed an open letter seeking to prevent AI from sabotaging and harming artists. Moreover, these models do not know how to judge if a source is reliable. Instead, they gravitate towards popular answers, which can range from reliable academic journals to a meme made by a 17-year-old to gain karma on Reddit. One person created a fake website purely designed to capture bots. These are automated programs commonly used by search engines to systematically download web page content. They realized that the GPT bot was collecting about 3 million pages from their sites every day. This was a small window into the quality of data being scraped by AI chatbots and informing their responses, which is not exactly a positive sign. What's worse is that since much of the internet is already generated by AI, the next generation of AI will use content created by previous generations as training data sets. And with each generation, the work produced by these AI tools will continue to be less and less human. Search results will be filled with AI-generated content, and finding reliable sources will become even more difficult. The word robot was first used in a 1920 Czech science fiction play called Rossum's Universal Robots. It comes from the Czech word robot, which loosely translates to slave. This was a good description of the mechanical robots used in production. They were simply tools, like a hammer or a calculator. As robots moved into the digital world, however, the relationship between master and slave became blurred. Online media is already largely controlled by artificial intelligence. Powerful automated programs determine whether content will succeed or fail. Advertisers pay millions for professionals to try to decipher the code of the mysterious algorithms because they are constantly changing. These programs essentially create a secret internal functionality process, not even known to those who design them. At the mercy of pattern recognizing supercomputers, our behavior has been shaped by them. Social media sites have shifted from authentic social engagement to consumption-driven models. As long as they can keep you online, it's good for business, while their algorithms process unimaginably large data sets to create profiles of you as a consumer, categorizing your online behavior to create personalized ads. All it takes is a click to fill your feed with a certain subject, pulling you in to consume more. The system rewards imitators and copiers. To survive online, creators, influencers, and marketers must constantly seek the approval of the algorithms. In the end, even humans who create are forced to create generic and unoriginal content. And there's a reason why people are complaining about the all-powerful Mr. Beast algorithm. They see how well Jimmy Donaldson is doing and think, why not copy him? As Friedrich Nietzsche argued, people tend to follow the herd for protection, afraid to show authenticity and confront the truth. With this comes nihilism, where the herd drifts without direction, meaning, or certainty. This is reflected in the algorithm and the content we consume and perpetuate, leaving us in an endless cycle of emptiness. Our aesthetics and values are now curated by non-human forces. So is our culture still ours? Are humans giving the orders, or has technology become our master? The commercialization of the internet, the concentration into a handful of companies, and the creation of a fast yet dangerously inaccurate generative tool have given us a technology that is manipulating our deepest weaknesses. The rise of bot armies offers a shortcut for business development. AI offers a shortcut to creativity in producing low-quality content. Powerful algorithms have fueled our addiction to short-form content. Has the internet become a carefully constructed reality that we have all been presented with? Not to the extent that the dead internet theory describes, but as artificial intelligence spreads across the internet, our notion of reality is being seriously shaken. It is a wake-up call to change course before it's too late. To keep the internet alive, we need the courage to step away from the herd, recognize that the current systems are not working, and that humanity is more important than profit. If you enjoy the videos we make and would like to support us, click the link in the description and transform your life now. Get the personal development ebook and master the strategies to live with courage, serenity, and purpose in modern life. Don't wait any longer to start this journey of personal transformation. Click now and discover the power in your life. Also, visit our online store where we have various products you need with amazing discounts. Hurry up. Thank you all, and see you next time.